Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I'm doing a very special video, one of my docutorials, which is part documentary and part tutorial using the makeup products of a brand. Today I've decided to do a special all about Drew Barrymore and her makeup brand Flower Beauty. Now, as far as Flower Beauty goes, the actual makeup brand itself, there's not a whole lot of the story there. But Drew's story is absolutely fascinating. So what I'm going to do is just show you a little documentary. It's about 15 minutes long, all about the life and history of Drew Barrymore. And then when we come back, we will introduce the makeup demo using all Flower Beauty products. Born on February 22, 1975, Drew Barrymore became the newest member of a family of royalty in the acting genre. Legends such as Lionel, John, Ethel, and Diana Barrymore were her relatives. Even her mom, Jade, was also an aspiring actor. Now, Drew got her very first acting role at the tender age of 11 months, doing a dog food ad.
This is a baby, and this is a baby. They both have special nutritional needs. That's why a baby should have his very own baby food, and why a puppy should have his very own puppy food.
That's you right there, right?
Her poise and success in this ad led to other work with an ad for Rice Krispies, for Pillsbury cookie dough, and also this ad for a McDonald's Kids Day, in which at the end she uttered the words, "I'm glad I'm a kid."
Ronald McDonald Kids Day is the biggest day of the year for your kids at McDonald's. And it's this Sunday. Free Sunday. For every kid under 10, a free 2-ounce Sunday sample. You won! Plus one of 4 free prizes from the winner spinner. Every kid wins. So celebrate Ronald McDonald Kids Day. This Sunday only, 11 to 8. Free Sundays, free prizes, good family fun.
I'm glad I'm a kid.
She landed a role in a TV movie called Suddenly Love, and she was not credited, but it was her first real role. And she also was in the film Bogey, which was a TV movie about the life of Humphrey Bogart. This gave her a role in a major motion picture, Altered States, and it caught the attention of Steven Spielberg, who was casting for Poltergeist, a horror movie that he was filming. When he met with Drew, he actually thought she would be better suited for his other film, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which is the highest grossing film of the 1980s. She was outstanding in this role, and she became very close with Steven Spielberg, asked him to be her godfather, and he agreed to, and they have been lifelong friends. He's been a real father figure for her. Her godmother, by the way, is Sophia Loren, and she also spent a lot of time growing up playing with Sophia Loren's family. And her other godmother is Anna Strasberg, widow of Lee Strasberg, the acting coach. She was very much a good maternal figure for Drew. Now, with sudden fame and fortune, Drew was kind of thrust into the world of publicity, but her home life wasn't all that happy. Her dad was in and out of her life. He was very violent, very drunk, and while she on the surface seemed to have a wonderful time meeting famous people and going places, her home life and school life were miserable. Her classmates teased her for being pudgy and fat, and she begged her mother to let her leave school and become an actress. Over the next 10 years, she would film many films. Now, her mom enjoyed taking her to all the premieres and wrap parties, and they also went to clubs together, and she figured that she could be Drew's buddy. Now, she didn't understand the parenting role at all, and unfortunately, when they get to a lot of these parties, Jade would kind of disappear into the crowd, and Drew would kind of do what she wanted to. Many times she would drink alcohol and get drunk at a young age of 8 or 9 years old. She would be hanging out with adults in adult nightclubs and discotheques, doing things children really shouldn't be doing. She developed a smoking habit at 9, an alcoholic habit by 10. By 11, she was addicted to cocaine. And by 12, she was just stealing her mom's car and going on binges, just to nightclubs in the area. Finally, her mother saw that her daughter had mood swings, long sleeps, and problems, and she decided to put her into rehab. Now, the therapy did help a little bit, and by the time Drew was released from rehab, she had a short stint with sobriety, but then soon was back in her ways. She felt so bad, she actually was suicidal and tried cutting her wrists. Her mom actually at this time decided she needed more serious care and put her into a psychiatric unit. The Van Nuys Psychiatric Hospital had padded rooms and restraints and everything. Recently, Drew on her show went back to visit the location of this and got quite emotional, thinking how much she had benefited from being there, although it was a horrible boot camp of life skills, and it really straightened her out. When she got out, she was only 14 years old, and she decided to emancipate from her parents. On the interim, she stayed for 3 months with David Crosby and his wife, Jan. They were committed to sobriety, and it was helpful for her. She wrote the book Little Girl Lost at this time, and it was about her growing up under such extreme conditions and her drinking problem. Ironically, she had starred in a film called Irreconcilable Differences, and that was about emancipation from parents. Now, Drew lived in a very, very seedy part of Hollywood, and it was since she had emancipated from her parents, she was living on her own as a 14-year-old in an apartment in a bad side of Hollywood. She was scared at night, terrified, and she looked for work, but she was no longer the darling of Hollywood. She was tainted now, and she had a hard time finding any kind of work. She helped with dishwashing, and she cleaned toilets. She did whatever she could to get by. Pretty soon she found a few breakout roles, one of which was Poison Ivy when she was 17, and she wound up renewing her film career. She also had quite a dating life. She dated several celebrity boys during her time. That was Corey Feldman, of course. Yeah, David Arquette. And then this is Jamie Waters, who she was briefly engaged to. Oh, evil makeup, oh boy. They actually posed nude for Interview magazine, she and Jamie. She was going through her wild child years. She did briefly also date several other celebrity men. And in her wild time, she decided to pose for Playboy. Now, after this spread, she received a quilt from Steven Spielberg and a note saying, "Cover yourself up, please." She started to clean up her life a little bit, dating, still the darling of Hollywood, making a lot of movies. She married Tom Green, a comedian, and that was a short-lived marriage. She also had several other marriages in her life, but they never really transpired past a few months or a year, and she did continue to date. She did date the Strokes drummer. She dated a couple of other actors as well. And she eventually wound up meeting Nancy Jovanovich, who she formed Flower Films with. Now, this production company did a lot of TV work, did a lot of movies, and this is kind of the list here. It was really quite something. Never Been Kissed was the first, and of course Drew starred in it as well, and Charlie's Angels, of course, was very, very famous for this company to do. Nancy, by the way, was married to Jimmy Fallon, so Drew made many appearances on Jimmy's television program. Here's just a little sampling of some of the over 100 TV appearances and movies that Drew appeared in. This amazing lady starting to really become an accomplished director and producer, and she started to receive accolades and awards for all of her efforts. Now, she decided to kind of broaden her spectrum in the business world, and she collaborated with a winery called Carmel Road, and she came out with the Barrymore brand. Carmel Road brand of Drew's Blend is a beautiful Pinot Noir. She also had a rosé of Pinot Noir, and she had her own Barrymore brand as well. These wines really took off, although in Connecticut I could only find one of them. She met and married Will Koppelman, and she got pregnant and had not one but two different daughters within a course of a few years. Now in 2012, she formed Flower Beauty, and this is where we are at. That's the long story to get to here. This beauty company is a cruelty-free company. It's all-encompassing and now includes elixirs and skincare and primers, as well as makeup. She has setting sprays in different types of formulations, which I'll demonstrate later. And this was featured first on her own website and then on the Ulta website. Drew released her second book, Wildflower, in late 2015, and she bought a house in the Hamptons of New York. It's kind of the beachy, more neighborhood side of New York. It's not like the city. Now, she and Will actually did divorce in 2016, but they do co-parent quite well together. This has inspired her to create yet another business, the beautiful line of kitchenware, kitchen appliances, furniture, decor, curtains, bedding, peel-off wallpaper. Absolutely stunning. Also, there's wall art. And these are the kitchen appliances. And I did actually see some of them in the Walmart. It's an exclusive at Walmart, actually, to the beautiful brand. Now, I haven't tried any of those, but I did see that there were quite a few different things. The toaster ovens were quite popular, and the air fryer here, like this one. She's become quite domesticated. And also I noticed the wall of utensils. Although Walmart carries a lot of different utensils, they did have the beautiful line. I saw they were on clearance, so I'm wondering if there's a problem with them. There's just oodles and oodles of stuff. She's really got her hands in a lot of pots here. No pun intended. There's a really nice Barrymore family crest on that spoon rest. Now also too, she decided to go into the line of clothing. So she has the Drew Barrymore clothes. This is Dear Drew line, and she has dresses, tops, jeans, a little bit of everything from dressy to very casual. And she also has an intimate line, handbags, wallets, luggage, and she has jewelry and scarves. And I think some of these items have been discontinued. I can see that they're currently unavailable. Now, in the last couple of years, Drew has made amends. She actually helped her dad and set him up for medical help during his last days before he passed, and she has made amends with her mom, Jade. She wrote this book, Rebel Homemaker, recently, and she's got her own television talk show called The Drew Barrymore Show. It's actually been spoofed or parodied, as you'd call it, on Saturday Night Live. Really funny. And she recently had to apologize for saying something about the Depp vs. Heard trial that was on TV. Now, her own two daughters live with her in the Hamptons, and she does co-parent with Will Kopperman really, really well. She seems really happy, and you know, this little girl, Lost, has now become quite a business magnate and a talented lady. She's presently directing a brand new film that should be released sometime in 2022, and we wish her all the best, and especially with Flower Beauty. So there you have it. That is the story of Drew Barrymore and Flower Beauty. And of course, you know, it got me into, I discovered a new wine thanks to her. Actually, this is the Chardonnay from Carmel Road. And even though I don't think this is one of hers, this is a delicious Chardonnay. And I hope I can find some more in Connecticut. Unfortunately, it's very hard to find the Carmel Road brand or the Barrymore brand. It's very difficult. So when I do locate one, I'll let you know how delicious it is. This one doesn't give you a headache like my box wines do. Anyway, she sure has her hands in a lot of businesses, a lot of different types of businesses, and she's quite a entrepreneur. My goodness. She is directing the film Surrender Dorothy right now. And, I just so admire her, I really do. So let's do a makeup demo using all Flower Beauty products. And I have to apologize just before this because, and it's so embarrassing, I drank like 2 glasses of this before I did the makeup demo. And when I put the bronzer on, oh my gosh, I didn't blend it, I just threw it on there. It looks so awful. I almost didn't put this makeup demo in here, but I had to because I actually had returned a couple of the products and I couldn't replicate the makeup makeover without them. So anyway, I apologize about the bronzer, but everything else was kind of put on the way I normally do. It was one of the worst makeup applications I think I've ever done. And I do like many of her products. So I have included all of the clips below. I've given all the YouTube videos, and all of the links to all of her products are below in my description box. So you can just click on the little down arrow and then click on the word more, and it brings up the whole list. So you'll see everything, all the videos, links to her books, links to her products. And it was kind of funny when I went into Walmart looking for her stuff. I didn't realize a lot of it is on clearance. So I don't know if they're discontinuing the line or what the situation is there. But anyway, the Flower Beauty still is coming up with new products, and I have tried a lot of the new things. I probably still need to try the Elixir. I think that's the newer product that I haven't tried yet. So here we go. This is the makeup demonstration with Flower Beauty. Hello. Yes, this is the before. I don't know which way to do the before and afters, but this is where I usually screenshot them and put them on the thumbnail. So this is where it came from. So a freshly moisturized face on this side, my no pore zone on this side. And so let's start with the Red Carpet Secret set. Now this is kind of an interesting set. I was surprised. It's got a little of everything in it. It's got an eye primer here, the pink one, and then it's got 2 concealers and a setting powder. And you're supposed to put it on with this little metal ball, which is very cooling. And what I'm going to do here is just kind of work it in. So the pink one is the eye primer, and it's very lotion feeling, it's very creamy feeling. And I am putting that underneath my eyes as well. It was a nice surprise, actually. It's very pleasant. There's no scent to this, which is good. Now for the concealer, however, I am going to use, now the idea with the 2 is that they want to have you mix them. So you can either have the light or the dark, or you can mix them together and it makes a kind of in-between shade. That's so you can be anywhere from very pale to medium light. And then they have other sets for medium and other sets for deeper skin tones. So it's inclusive, but I have the fair skin version, fish belly white version. So I think what I'm going to do is going to use my finger here, and I'm just going to tap it in, and I think it does a fairly decent job of concealing, and it feels very creamy. I really was surprised by this. I thought it did a really good job, not just for the eye concealing, but on the face concealing as well. I'm going to use it here around the nose and on my chin, which is always a problem area. And you can adjust that shade, which I really like that a lot. I'm just going to use a cotton to set. Just taking this and just setting and setting under my eyes. I'm going to set wherever I placed that concealer. And I think it did a pretty good job of concealing. I do like this Red Carpet Secret, it's called. Really, really nice. I think that's a great idea. You know, it's kind of an all-encompassing concealer, and you can see it's already brightened me up a little bit. Now for foundation. This is one of the newer foundations, and this is called Get Real. And I have the shade 2, Ivory L2, I think it is. I wanted Nude, which is the next shade up, but they were sold out in all 3 CVS's I went to. So it's really difficult to... Alright, so I'm just going to make 2 squirts. It's extremely watery, very, very thin formulation. I did shake it up really well. And on one side I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to use my BK Beauty brush. I'm just going to use that on this side. Now there is a little bit of a smell of, all I can think of is pine. It smells like pine, like a tree. This is a really thin serum foundation, and it's supposed to be, you know, very good for you as well as covering all the bad stuff. I would say it's kind of a light coverage, medium light coverage. I'm going to do 2 pumps for the other side, and I think what I might do is dot that around. And you can see it's not too far off from my skin shade. I have been using the self-tanning drops, but you know, it's been a little hot minute since I put them on. So let me just rub this in with my fingers, because I do that when I'm traveling. Now this is the side with the no pores filler stuff. And I always take the foundation down the neck, covering over there. All right. And this is the hand, and this is the brush. It does creep into the lines just a little bit, but I can pat them out very easily. And then I'm going to take my Flower Beauty matte, Miracle Matte, and it has its own little spongy applicator thingy. I'm just going to pat that in up here. They have a satin version of this, And they have a matte version of this. This is a translucent universal shade. I always find they can sometimes look a little white, because I always find that they lighten up my foundation. Okay, so that is the Miracle Matte Powder. Now I still don't feel dry, cakey, or anything like that. I do notice though that I've got peeking through here a little bit of the age spot, and there is a little bit of particle looking stuff here. I'm just gonna tap this on over the top. It's kind of a tough age spot there. But I think all in all, this did a good job. Now I have two kinds of blush. This one is fairly new. This is the Gel Crush, and this is the peach color. I think the peach was like kind of a pretty color. It reminds me of a deodorant, you know, like secret deodorant or something. And it's like, okay, so let me just put this on here, and you can see it just goes on so nicely. It's a very pretty color. Very natural glow. It does build up a little bit if you want it to. You can put it on here. It's also supposed to be good for the lips. And there is a little wafting of the peach flavor on there. So this is the Gel Crush on this side. I'm going to do something else on the other side, because this is the these are the Balm color drops for cheeks. These are the this one is called Bitten, and usually I put it on my hand first, and then I use a brush to apply it, or my fingers. But this is the blush balm in Bitten, so this should be quite nice. Let me just take a little brush here. Woo, it's a little bit strong. Just put it directly on my face, which I don't like to do, but let me just put a drop directly on my face so you can see it, and blend it with my fingers, which is what my natural instinct is to do with this. I had trouble with this before, and I think I gave it away in a giveaway. And now I know why. I just didn't like this. I don't like the way it blended or something. So you can see this is the Bitten. And this is the Gel Crush. What is it called? Gel Crush in Peach. So I'm not a real fan of this, and these, for some reason, these are very popular. Nope. You know, I love their powder blushes, you know, the petal powder blushes, and so I just really tried the gel and the cream because they're new and they're, you know, popular right now. But they also have a liquid bronzer, but I just love this. This is the Sunrise, I believe. This is Sunrise from the Heat Wave bronzer series, and this is just lovely. It looks gray. There's two shades. There's like a deeper shade. It looks more warm in the pan, and then this shade looks more gray, but it's not. It isn't at all. It actually goes on quite kind of warm, I think, even though it looks gray in the pan. Yeah, I'm definitely not liking that that Bitten blush at all. Ugh. Gosh, nope. Let's see if we can just do a little here. So that is the bronzer. This is quite a nice bronzer. I've had this one for quite a while, actually. I really like it. And I've also had this for a while. I haven't brought it out in a while though, but it gave me a good excuse to do so. This is the Shimmer and Strobe highlighter set. Now you can have, let's see, let's do this, this, and this. I'll show you, these are the 3 colors. Let me see how they look on my arm. If you can see that. But I mean, you can choose any color you like out of this grouping, and you not only can use them as highlighters, but you can also use them as eyeshadows, and I will be doing that a little bit later. For this look, I think I'm gonna go with this color here, and I'm just gonna go a little bit and up. This little applicator is nice. You get a tiny little stripe, and then you can kind of blend it in by turning it. Just gonna go in here. I don't do the tip on the nose. I never liked that. People do that all the time. Now this isn't bad, the little brush that comes with it. This is very famous, and they have now strobing cream blushes, which are basically these 3 colors in a strobe cream format. I really wasn't that excited. I have so many highlighters right now that that's not something I invest in. So these are fabulous. This is a great collection because you've got an assortment. You can go gold tone, you can go pink tone, you can go kind of a shimmery moon color if you like. Now to set the face, I like to just spray. This is their setting spray. This is Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray. And I'm just going to put this on a cotton pad, and I am just going to set where I really feel I need it, right around the center of the face. I do that rather than spray it. You know, like when you're spraying like this, it goes everywhere, and it's not necessarily focused on where you really need it. I really need it right here where my St. Bernard gels are, and right here on my chin. Any place where the mask goes, and it's more of a spot set, and I prefer to do it that way. Now this is something new. This is the Forever Wear Eyelighter. And what it is basically a light color eye pencil. So you basically will take this. You see how bright that is? And then you go around the edge. You can also go just underneath the brow or just over the brow if you want to exaggerate that. I'll just show you the difference. Can you see the difference in my eyes from that? The disappointing thing about this is that it did not last, but it did kind of mangle its way out of the waterline. And it disappeared. It disappeared. It's got a little of that crayon kind of look, and I think you know what I'm talking about. It's a little bit of a crayon kind of, you can see the drag mark on the brow, just under the brow. I see like all the little particles in it. So this was kind of a fail product for me. I couldn't recommend it for a waterline brightener. I love the idea of it, I love the concept of it, but it didn't stay, it didn't last, and that's part of the problem. You know, you don't really want to have to go back to your makeup, you know, every couple of hours. You don't want to have to go and look at your makeup and change it, you know. Alright, so let's go into the brows, and I have the Fiber Fix Brow Gel, and this is in Blonde. And blonde is kind of a light warm brown color. Let me just see if you can see it there. And take this like regular brow brush, and what I can do is I stamp hairs with the gel. It's kind of like making it a two-in-one product. I stamp the hair in because it's hard to do that with the brush itself without making a mess. So I do make like little hairs. And it gives it just a little bit more texture. So then I just put this back into the container, and now I will fluff it up. There we go. It's a little dark and a little warm. I have the trouble with blonde brow things being like that. You know, what is this? Let me just check in the DNA mirror here. Now all of the larger palettes that had several different shades, I've tried them in the past. I'm not all that happy with them. So I got the 4 because I thought it'd be interesting and maybe the formulation would be nice. I don't know. This particular one is called Iris, I believe. Black Iris. And I thought that this shade here was going to be light, but it's actually very, very dark when you put it on your eye. Look at that. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, it looks very different on. So, and then this is the brown, which, you know, I use. And then this is the iris, I guess you want to call it. And then this is the deeper shade, which, you know, it's kind of nice, you know, these purples. I thought they'd be really nice. So what we'll do, we'll get around that not having a light shade thing. I like to have a light, like a warm ivory light shade. And I think what I'll do is I'll use one of these fellas here. Maybe use this one on my eye. A highlighter here as my light shade. And since we're doing purples, maybe I'll do a pink. I don't know. What do you think? Should do a pink, right? Okay, let's do the pink over the top. See if that helps. That's really sparkly. I love these brushes from, I think these are ColourPop. Yeah, it's ColourPop brush. I'm going to go into this brown here. I'm just going to draw a straight line across and then down. And that's in this, just this plain old matte brown here. Just drawing a line across and then down. Quite pigmented. Ooh. Take one of my crease brushes. This is also a ColourPop one. There's nothing on it. I'm just going to smear it out a little bit, just to smear out the edges so it's not quite so blatant. It's very blatant right now. Okay, use my finger a little bit in here. And I think what we'll do is going to go into that purple, that dark shade. I'm just going to go into the, woo, we're just going to go into the corner. Hello, purple. Wow. I'm just going that last quarter here, going right up to the crease. Okay. Really just laying down that color, and I'm going to go back to this one and use my little color switch here. Just going to clean off that brush a little bit, and I'm going to take this brown again and I'm just going to swish it up a little bit so it blends in with that purple shade. I don't know, the formulation is a little tricky, I would say, but it doesn't last all day. So I'm torn. I really am torn. I think I'm going to use some of this down here, and you'll see it's kind of dark. Use this over here, right over here. I'm just kind of from the middle to the end there, just touching it in so it connects a little bit. And then we'll use a little of this purple with my finger in the center. And I think I'm going to take some of this deeper shade and I'm just going to go right under here. Just to connect it up there with the corner. Now this is the Forever Wear liner, and this is in Brownstone, it's called, which is kind of a gray-brown color. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tight line with this. Let me just fix this a little bit. We're just winging it here. Okay, let me just go into the tight line area. We can do it this way so you can watch. And just drawing on the inside. Just drawing underneath my lashes. So that is Brownstone, the eyeliner. I have it in the waterline. Looks really nice under there. Okay, mascara time. Of course, this is the Warrior Princess. I love that name. She's such a queen anyway, you know. To call her mascara Warrior Princess is pretty cool. I really do like her a lot. I admire her a great deal. Now, if you, in a pinch, needed an eyeliner, this is another little trick that I do. You could just take that eyebrow brush and you can just do that. You're picking up the color from the mascara and you can just kind of stamp it up to make a little black wing. If you want to make a little black wing, it's really nice. But we're using the mascara, so let's just curl the lashes. And jiggle, jiggle up, jiggle, jiggle up. You get kind of a medium large lash with this, with 1 or 2 passes. I would say that it's just meh. One good thing is it did not leave dings on my upper lids, which it has in the past. I don't know if maybe I had an older formula or it was too new, I don't know, but this one didn't seem to do that. I've worn it 3 days now. It's not really that difficult to take off. I do use a makeup remover, eye makeup remover at night to take off these mascaras. Some of them, like the really nice tubing mascaras, will come right off with water, but these take a little bit more effort. So I would say jiggle, jiggle up, jiggle, jiggle up, jiggle, jiggle up, jiggle, jiggle up. Mary Kay training. When I first started doing makeup like this on YouTube, I was a new Mary Kay person. Yeah, I fell into the rabbit hole there. Was my own best customer for about a year and I gave it up. But it taught me a lot about makeup and makeup applications. So I'm grateful to them for that, if nothing else. Spent a lot of money though. Quite a large group of products. Those MLMs are not for the faint of heart. Yeah, it's taken about 4 coats to get to any kind of volume like I like. All right, let me just take this little Q-tip here and get this little piece of problem out of the way. And let's see. Yeah, I think I do like this gel crush thing. I don't think on the lips it's all that great. It's just more like just a plain old lip balm. So let's do the lips. This is the Petal Pout Perfect Lip Liner, I guess it's called, in Rose. And it's got that weird long triangle shape. I don't know why that is. I don't think it helps with shaping the lips at all. I'd rather have a point, actually. I like a point. I guess it's terribly old school of me, but I don't know. Why do you need a triangle? Okay. And then we have the Petal Pout Perfect, whatever it is. This is Peach Nude. So we have Peach Nude in the Flower Beauty. Yeah. And, you know, to put a little shimmer on, if you don't have anything, you can always do something like this. And press that in. You get in all kinds of trouble with these highlighters. Alright, let me take this down. I think actually I'm going to put some lashes on. Lashes. Here is the Kiss Lash Liner. I didn't see there were lashes with Flower Beauty. Okay, I'm going to try that first. I'm going to try this. This one. It's just so darn easy to do these lashes this way. You see what I'm doing? I'm just drawing a line. I got the lash here. Oops. It's like a little. And I just slinky it here a little bit just to give it a little bit of a curve. And I drop this right at the end where I want it to fall, and then place it in. Like, are you serious? I'm missing some blush over here, I think. This just didn't. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on this side. Look at that. It filled it right in. Look at that. You can see it really nicely now. And here is the finished product. This way for the after. Oh, you know, no words. Anyway, Drew Barrymore is an amazing person. I'm totally jealous of her skill sets. She's absolutely a wonderful person. And I hope you can catch her on her Drew Barrymore show, which is a TV show that comes on. And you might want to try out some of her products. I know a lot of them are being sold on Amazon and on List, L-Y-S-T, and you can find some on Poshmark as well. And Walmart sells a lot of her kitchen products. And I believe you can find online some of the other things. Again, I have linked what I can below. And I hope you all will consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out a lot with those Google and YouTube algorithms. Oh goodness, it used to be just us talking about makeup at the kitchen table. I don't know whatever happened to that innocence, but now it's all about numbers and the bottom line, it seems. But you know me, I'm not sponsored. None of these products were sent to me. She doesn't know who I am, and I'm just all fangirl at this point. I'm just all fangirl on her. So everybody have a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.